Welcome to the BS Show. In the evolving world of video games, one debate continues to divide players of all levels. Is the push towards competitive gaming and ranked systems ruining the fun for casual players? What once started as a pastime rooted in exploration and enjoyment has increasingly become a skill-driven arena where players are expected to sweat every match regardless of whether they ask for competition. From the rise of esports cultures to the implementation of skill-based matchmaking, the tension between casual and competitive gaming is no longer just an online argument. It's reshaping how games are designed, played, and enjoyed. And a question we must ask ourselves is, how did we get here? Join us as we dive deeper into this issue. I'm Blake, and with me as always is Steve. So competitiveness in video games, I think, has completely, I'll just be straightforward with this, man. I think it's completely ruined the way games are played, in ways that we don't even realize that it's affected it. We've played, again, games for how long, Steve? Like 20-some plus years. I could think all the way back to my COD days and stuff like that. We didn't have things like skill-based matchmaking, and that, I don't know if you notice this too, like when you view these forums or see complaints, a lot of the biggest complaints is, skill-based matchmaking. It's like you're having to sweat in not only these ranked lobbies, but your casual lobbies as well. And, you see it in games like COD. You see it in games like League of Legends, Overwatch. I mean, dude, I play League all the freaking time. You can't even join a quick play game without being placed, with players of your skill level and stuff like that, which, I mean, I can kind of understand it. But if I'm playing with, let's just say, somebody like you, no offense, who is not really familiar with how to play League or Brett or whatever, you're bringing them into like a competitive environment in a game mode that's supposed to just be, casual fun. So I wanted to we could really get in on this. So what is your thing on this, man?
I definitely agree. I think competitiveness has kind of gotten to a level where it just wasn't like this in the past. I think there was definitely, skill-based matchmaking to an extent has kind of always existed. Like, there's always been some sort of, like, especially with any kind of game that had some sort of competitive nature to it, there was always ranked lobbies, there was always stuff like that. Even like Call of Duty, like back in the day, had a sort of skill-based matchmaking. Obviously, it wasn't to the extent it is now, but there's always been something like that. So I think that aspect of it is fine. I just think it's more so the player base has kind of shifted around. Realistically speaking, I think a lot of the issues that kind of arose with it is just the fact that there's just so much money in competitive gaming and streaming and all that now that I think everyone kind of wants like a piece of that pie. And you have people that like, I'm trying to like kind of think back to like the time when like Fortnite was still coming out and like COVID, and it's like every other lobby, if you like jumped into like a Fortnite game, every other lobby, it's like you'd see someone with like TTV next to their name and they're trying to do some like crazy things or trying to do like, I would jump in and do like a random duo with someone and get queued up with someone with like X whatever TTV name, and they're trying to go do some crazy stuff just to get some clips and post on YouTube or do something crazy for Twitch. I think a lot of it is kind of predicated towards the fact that streaming has gotten so big and esports has gotten so big, everyone is just trying to get some of that money that's in there.
Now, I'm not trying to put this off on one person, but like one thing I'm when you said that, I'm thinking about, you got guys like Ninja. I'm going to say was probably like one of the first big competitive gaming streamers. I think, with Fortnite and then with like H1Z1, because we all know he used to be I think it was a Halo 2 Pro. Back then they didn't really, I think it was like Justin.tv, but as streaming became more popular, everybody wanted to be Ninja. Everybody wanted to be these big competitive gamers. And it seems like that, mindset is like nobody wanted to watch back in the day when you watched Twitch. It wasn't to enjoy the game. It was like your competitive gamers were like the most viewed and most watched streamers. So that, I think that kind of carried over into every game. People didn't want to, I think that people carried it into public matches because they knew that people weren't taking it as seriously, right? Like you went into, a Call of Duty lobby in a non-ranked game, like you're playing against the 30-year-old dad who has 30 minutes of game time to play a day, and these dudes were like going all out. And I do think like a big part of that is because they're wanting to mimic these competitive streamers. I mean, you think that's pretty fair to say, or?
Oh, 100%. Like, especially if they themselves were trying to be content creators, like I'm sure they're going into like they understand like, hey, my MMR is a little too high to try to do this in a ranked match. Let me go into a casual match and try to get some sort of clips to post on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. I obviously like again, I think that's a part of it too, but again, a big portion of it too is the fact that the player base itself has kind of changed. Like there almost is like no more casual games. Like I can't tell you how many games I've been in where it's like you're going in a casual game and someone's flaming someone because they're not doing that well, or it's like I played a lot of Overwatch back in the day, and jumping into a casual game with like friends that have never played the game before and seeing the other team or even someone from our team saying like, oh, tank div, healer div, DPS div, whatever, and it's like, this is supposed to be a casual game. Like this is where you're supposed to jump in and like try different things and learn the game and like explore and do different things, not necessarily be a pro like day one.
But it's funny you say that too, because I was actually thinking about this the other day. Was this stuff has actually carried over into games that were never meant to be taken competitive. Like look at games like Super Mario, or not Super Mario Bros, but like regular Mario Brothers, or these old school games that are now being, sped run. So you got guys, posting YouTube videos of them speed running levels in Mario, or beating.
Speedrunning has always existed. Like that's something that has existed from like when
not
those
when
games
it first started. Hell no
yes,
way,
yes,
dude.
yes.
You're telling me in the 1980s?
Yes.
No, dude, no. Speedrunning was
yes.
not a thing, bro.
Yes. Have you never seen the Donkey Kong movie about the I'm blanking on the name of the
yes, with
the
Adam
movie.
Sandler, Pixels.
No,
yeah,
no. This is a documentary based on the whole aspect of speedrunning the old Donkey Kong game on arcade. But speedrunning has been a thing. Literally, speedrunning has been a thing for forever. Like it's not something that's brand new. Like this is something as someone that is
maybe it's more popular.
It's 100% more popular, and I think a lot of it is too because of Twitch and YouTube. And it's like any time that people have more access to different things, it's obviously it's going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it's like we're in an era where like everyone is able to connect with anyone. Versus like back in the day, it was so niche. It's like the only way you can get access to people speedrunning was like to go into these like dungeony forums and like talk to other people that were also speedrunning this same game as you or watching the same game as you. But speedrunning has always existed.
Okay, I guess I stand corrected because I'm looking up right now and they said it has been speedran in the late 80s. I mean, yeah. I've heard, I know that they used to have like, competitions with like Pac-Man and stuff like that, but it's nowhere near the degree that it is today.
I think it's always been about as big as it
is
now.
There's no fucking way, dude. There's no way.
It's pretty. Speedrunning has always been a very niche thing, and it continues to be a very niche thing, where the only people that are really necessarily watching and actively enjoying speedrunning is probably maybe like 1%, 2% of your probably internet population. But that's still a huge chunk. Like that's maybe 1 million people, 2 million people. But you have to think there's like billions and billions of people on this planet. And it's always been very small, like comparably so. Like if you think like the biggest speedrunning event every year is like your AGDQ, and they do 2 events a year. So your GDQ does summer games done quick and awesome games done quick. I think one's in the winter and one's in the summer. And those humongous events where they raise, I think it's like a couple $1 million, it still maybe peaks at like 50, 60,000 viewers, which is big. But again, like for something that's that massive and that big, you would expect it to be bigger. But no, speedrunning is a small,
and that started in 2010.
Community. Yeah. But it's a small niche community, but it's not something that's new. Like this is something that's been around.
Do you think it's just more being streamlined because of things like Twitch and all that?
100%. And then also you had some like very big streamers that kind of hopped on the speedrunning trend with like you had like your Mizkiv jumping on Super Mario. Obviously you had like XQC doing Minecraft, Forsen doing Minecraft, stuff like that. And then you had like Dream, who kind of blew up, and he was a Minecraft speedrunner. So it's like speedrunning has never been something that was like humongous, but it's never been something that's been like extremely, extremely small. It's just niche.
Well, I want to just shift things just really quick here, because you said this. I think you said this a few seconds ago. You're talking about. I know this is not related to speedrunning, but skill-based matchmaking. Do you honestly think like that belongs in non-competitive lobbies?
To an extent, yes. I think
I need to hear more about this. I need to. There's no way, dude.
I think there should be some sort of like buffer window of like, say, if you're. I'm trying to think of like ranking systems. I guess like I'm thinking like if you're like gold to like platinum and you're playing a casual game, like there's no way you should be queued up against people that are bronze, silver, if you're like way higher than them.
Okay, but they can also be placed on the other teams too.
I think there has to be some sort of like, this is your threshold and this is it. Like, because otherwise it's not fair. Like I get it. I get it where like people are saying like, I don't want to jump into a lobby where every single game I'm playing against someone that's like the same rank as me or higher, because then it's just it's so competitive. But at the same time, it's like if you go into a lobby and you're a platinum level player and you're put up against a bunch of people that are bronze, you're gonna be like,
shit on them.
Yeah, it's not fun for the other people. Like, it needs to be fair for both sides, and it can't be something where it's just one-sided towards the people that are just so much better than everyone else. Like, it has to be the same for everyone. And I think the people that are like higher ranked, they just don't want to get queued up against people that are the same rank or higher than them, because they don't want to try hard every single time. And I get it. Like, sometimes you want to relax, but if you want to relax, don't play something like Call of Duty or whatever thing like that has some sense of PvP.
Say don't put, dude. Are you kidding me? No, I think that skill-based matchmaking should belong in a game like MOBA, in games like MOBAs, because yeah, you're right. Like the pure game knowledge of a game like League of Legends or Dota. Like yeah, if you have a fucking plat or emerald diamond player going against an iron bronze, like yeah, they're just literally going to be able to harsh it. But if you have I think if you put a professional Call of Duty player in a public match, they're still going to get. I guarantee you, they're still going to die. They're not just going to completely destroy every single public lobby that they're playing with. I want to be able to play with my friends without having to worry about having a fucking sweat. I don't want to have to throw on my MLG headband and wristbands, load up my shaker full of G Fuel just to play video games and relax.
And don't play those types of games.
Oh my! So because I enjoy games like Call of Duty, Warzone, and League, 100%. I should be expected to have to sweat every single game.
No, you'll be put into lobbies that fit your skill level, and I think that makes sense. I think that is perfectly fine, because if you think about it, like, how is it fair to the person on the other side that is, say you're, I don't know how Call of Duty does their ranking systems or MMR system, whatever, but like, say you're like a silver level player or whatever in Call of Duty, and you're like, I want to play an easy match, whatever, and you get queued into someone that's like iron level, and you just completely shit on them.
But it's like, on both sides. Yes, it's not just one.
But yes,
side.
you're still probably going to die, but more than likely you're probably going to have a better time than the person that goes 0-15, 0-20 or whatever. It's not fair to the person that wants to jump in and have a good time as well, and just to get completely shit on. So you have to think about it from both perspectives. Like, you can't just think about it from your perspective of like, I don't want that. You don't want to have a game where it's competitive every single time, but you're playing a competitive game. So that's what I'm saying.
Public matches aren't. I mean, they're competitive in a sense.
It's still a competitive game. Like, it's still PvP. Like, you're not playing a PvE game where you can relax a little bit more. You're playing against another person, and that's what I'm saying. It's like any type of game where where the whole point of the game is to play against another person. It automatically, in my head, it's a competitive game.
I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, but again, you hop in there with a friend. You're just wanting to, you've had a long day at work. You're not trying to, you have a team. You want to play competitive later. Right now, you just want to play with your buddies from work. have a couple beers. You're not trying to sweat your ass off. You're running a fucking light machine gun, having fun, playing with a shotgun or whatever, running around with a knife.
How is it fair to the other person?
Because dude, they're having a deal with it too, but they're playing. Okay, but what happens when you're playing against better people too? It's the same thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like if I'm forced to have to play against people that are so much better than me because there is no skill-based matchmaking, it completely ruins my experience.
Then why is there such an issue with it with everybody then? Why is there so many complaints about skill-based matchmaking?
The reason there's so many complaints is I just think people. This is the thing. It's like everyone nowadays
get good.
Wants to be, well, not just that. It's like everyone nowadays wants to be a professional gamer, whatever. And it's like everyone is trying their absolute heart out to be the best in the lobby. And I just think people have kind of grown tired of that thought process. But again, it's the world that we live in. I think anytime you're playing a game that has some sense of PvP, no matter what, it's going to be competitive. And I just think people need to understand that. It's like if you don't want to play a competitive game, then don't play a competitive game.
But don't you think that causes burnout?
No,
because you don't think really for player fatigue or anything like that?
There's so many games that people can play. And this is what I think I've been trying to tell you since we started this, and I think I've gotten you to play a little bit more outside of your comfort zone. Is gaming is so vast and so huge. It's like you don't have to play something where you have to sweat every single time you jump in. Like you could jump.
I was sweating hard as fuck in Expedition 33.
Yeah. I mean, it was fairly easy once you kind of get to a
you haven't even beat it yet, and you're gonna freaking.
I'm very close.
Really, but again, you're no way. I want to see where you're at after this.
I'd have to reinstall it. But I'm very close.
You have to dude. No,
I'm playing it on my Steam Deck.
Okay, all right. Take a screenshot of me next time you're in. I want to see which boss you're at.
But the thing is, like, you have to understand. It's like there's so many things that you can do within gaming that you don't have to sweat every single time you're playing. If I want to play a game with friends and I want to just hang around, do whatever, like there's options for me to do that. Like if you're playing a game where there is PvP involved, automatically it turns into a competitive game.
So you're saying before you even load up Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever, if you're not wanting to have to sweat your ass off and a casual game mode in there, then don't even play that game. Play something else like Expedition or
100%.
Whatever. Wow.
100%.
Okay. So let me ask you this: why do you think it is that devs are like? Because we're seeing this in like every game now, not every game, but every competitive game. Why do we think devs are like pushing this skill-based matchmaking? Is it because they're just trying to create like an equal playing level, and make lobbies more fun? But again, that stems back to if it's more fun, why do we see so many complaints about it?
Because it makes the game more enjoyable for your average player. Your average player isn't some like pro gamer. Like your average player is a person like you that comes home from work and wants to play the game, whatever. And it's like they want to be able to go into the game and win a game every now and again. It's like if they're going into a game and they're just getting shit on every single time, like they're not gonna play the game anymore. That's the whole point. And it's like I think that's why more and more organizations that have sort of like this PvP aspect to it are pushing some sort of skill-based matchmaking because it makes it more accessible to your average Joe. Like, yes, your high-end players are probably complaining, but at the same time, it's like if they're playing a ranked game and they're complaining that every single
I don't think it's the higher end. I don't think it's the higher end people complaining. I think it's your 9-to-5 dad or 9-to-5 mom.
I think most of the complaints I've ever seen are from like literally either like pro players or streamers that are constantly playing the game and have some sort of like high-ish MMR or rank, and they're complaining that every single time they jump in a ranked lobby, the people in their lobby are the same rank as them or higher than them, which I think that should be expected.
No, I complain about this all the time. I'm not the best at video games. I mean, I know I'm very good, but when I hop into Call of Duty, I don't want to have to sweat. I mean, there's times, dude, like I'm getting fucking destroyed by like a 13-year-old dude who does nothing but play the game outside of school. Like I want to be able to play against the other fucking dads who aren't really trying to sweat. They're having fun with their guns and stuff like that. I mean, you could still be competitive without sweating so hard like it's an MLG game or MLG match, dude.
I don't think so. I think as soon as you start bringing some sense of competitiveness, it automatically turns into, okay, we need to try harder to win this.
But so you really don't think though that having to play like that causes player fatigue? So you don't think that could be a big reason as to why like Call of Duty numbers are down from what they used to be? You don't think that players having to do that even in their casual game modes are just getting fucking tired of having to, dude? Oh my god!
I think Call of Duty numbers are down because it's been the same thing every single year for the past 10
League
years.
of Legends,
and I think people are just tired of playing the same thing over and over and over again. And there's so many other games that people can play.
Name one game
That's the thing.
like Call of Duty.
Well, no, not like Call of Duty, but like so many other games that are available nowadays compared to when COD was, I would say, at its peak, at its prime, back when there was maybe like two or three other games that were out at the same time. Like now it's like just in 6 months we've had like 15, 20 games that have come out that are each like 60, 70 hours plus.
So what are you gonna do when those
And you have more
too?
And you have more that are coming out. No, that's the thing. It's like you don't have to speed run every single game that you play. Like just because I enjoy
sure as
playing,
fuck
like,
seems like it. Why,
like,
dude?
I
You got
enjoy-
games with
I enjoy-
WoW, race to world first and shit like that. That's supposed to be
but
race
that's
to
different.
max level.
But that's because these people want to compete doing this. But when we log in and play, we don't have to do any of that. I can sit here and I can do whatever I want. I don't have to go in there and jump in and try to speed run this. That's the beauty of gaming. It's like there's different options, and you don't have to jump into this sea of of like trying to be the best and be the number one player of such and such. And I think that's where people kind of get stuck in this and end up getting burnt out, is everyone jumps in there because they want to be the next big streamer, the next big whatever big esports star. And people need to understand, like, not everyone is that. Like there is a very finite group of people that can ever do anything like that. And I think people just have to understand and accept the fact that it's not them. You're not that guy, and
you're not that guy, pal.
Yeah, and just understand like that, it is what it is. And once people realize that, it's like gaming becomes just so much better and so much more enjoyable.
So then, I guess, would you think it's fair to say, in your opinion, that casual play has pretty much left games like Call of Duty and Fortnite and stuff like that? There's no more casual play. It's just have to.
I mean, look at Fortnite. Like Fortnite has so many different options outside of just the regular Fortnite that is very casual.
They also have bots in their games too right now.
Yes, but I think they do that differently. I think the reason they're doing that is to try and keep wait times shorter. It's very similar to kind of like what Marvel Rivals was doing, because it's like, I think you have like 100 people in a Fortnite lobby.
That sounds
obviously
right.
It's gonna obviously it could potentially take longer than like whatever. I think Fortnite queue tends to take like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And in order for it to not take whatever 10, 15 minutes to fill up, they probably adding bots here and there just to make it so the lobby fills up faster and you queue up faster. Like, that's fine. Like, whatever. I could care less about that.
But I've noticed in streamer games, I mean, they're playing against, people of their level and lower level as well. So, like, is there really skill-based matchmaking in Fortnite?
I don't know what Fortnite is using, but obviously there's definitely things that people can do. Like, I mean, I hit like high diamond in Fortnite once, and all I really did was I would go around and loot and like last like mid
Wait till
like
the end?
high teens. Yeah, sometimes I would have games where I would get like one or maybe 1-2 kills just third partying, and that was it. But again, like, I hit diamond. But if I went in and I got like in a gunfight with someone, I would probably lose because I'm not that good. I'm not that good at Fortnite. But maybe there's players like that had their rank obviously inflated, or maybe people paid for carries. Like, people have always paid for carries. Like, it's happened in games forever. And it's like you'll see it where you see a player that has this high rank that doesn't belong in that rank.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Do you think that competitiveness in these games is ruining games as far as, like, every competitive game now has a meta, right? And it's like if you're not using that meta, if you're not using the best guns, the best loadout, it's like that's all everybody cares about now when you play these games is what's the meta, what's the best gun right now, what's the it's there's no more. Oh, I'm just gonna play whatever I think is fun. It's again you see it in League of Legends. It's like you got your I know every game you've always had tier lists and stuff like that, but it's like why are you playing Rek'Sai jungle when you could be playing fucking Nocturne and 1v9ing the whole game? It's like, well, because I want to play what I enjoyable. So it's like, I think it is. Do you think it's ruining the metas in these games?
To be fair, I mean, stuff like that has always existed, and I don't necessarily think it's being pushed to a level where it's any different than what it was in the past.
It creates toxicity, though.
No, I mean games have always been toxic. I mean we've talked about this how like you're always talking about like, oh man, if only we had like Xbox lobbies like back in the day. It's like games have always been toxic, and that's because games have always been competitive. Like whenever you have two people that are competing against each other, like obviously tempers are gonna flare, adrenaline's gonna rise, and people are gonna say things that they might not necessarily mean. But that's just what happens. That's what happens when two people compete against each other. But no, metas have always existed.
Yes,
and
so the
always
competitiveness is increasing the toxicity in these games.
No, I think people have just always been toxic. I think toxic people are going to be toxic no matter what.
You really don't think like the competitiveness in the games, like
no, because games have always been like this. Like games have always been toxic. Like people used to like you had people like Keemstar that got huge off just talking shit to people in Halo lobbies. Like that's what people did back in the days, and it was probably way worse back in the day than it is now. I think now we're in a much
pretty fucking crude things and not have to worry about anything.
Yeah, now it's like you can't even really say anything, or you automatically get banned. Like quote it like you automatically getting banned for being toxic. Like, and again, I've told you a million times, I think you're probably one of the most toxic people.
I am not in terms that of toxic, like, dude.
You're very toxic. Like to the point where it's like it's almost like sometimes like unenjoyable playing certain games with you. Because
what
of how
game?
Toxic
what game?
Like League. I again, like the first time, I think the only time I played with you, you were like talking shit to me for not doing something, and I'm like,
I was not talking shit to you.
No, you were. To the point where it's like, Steve, I just couldn't even play the game with you.
Just
now. It's like,
QE,
okay,
dude. QE, bro. You're playing Garen, dude. Just spin on him.
Yeah, no.
That's not being. Yeah, I think your definition of toxic and my definition of toxic are two totally different things.
My proof that you are a toxic player is the fact that you have been permanently banned from your favorite game for being toxic.
That's because you can't say anything in there. I was actually. It was funny. I was actually on the Riot Games and the League of Legends subreddit. People literally get permabanned for the dumbest things, for saying the stupidest things, like your ass. Bam, you're getting permanently banned for shit like that. It's so stupid.
They probably said it multiple times, to be fair.
Okay, but really you're gonna ban people for saying your ass? I mean, dude, that even games like World of Warcraft, you can't say anything that's even what was it? There was a thread on Reddit that somebody showed their chat logs that they got suspended for. Like the GM actually shared it with them. And the guy was giving like constructive criticism. Like you could see the whole chat log, and nothing in there could have been taken as toxic. But it was like, hey, make sure you're doing this. And it's just like they just automatically fucking flag your account and suspend and ban. It's like, no, I think people have fucking weak mentals, bro. If you can't be called trash or bad without fucking getting your panties in a fucking bunch and being upset, dude, then you shouldn't be playing a competitive game, dude. Sorry.
I definitely agree. People it's a lot easier to get in trouble nowadays than it was back in the day. But to an extent, like, I don't agree that calling someone trash and ass or whatever in a game is necessarily
your hot dog water. Criticism. Yeah, I'm not saying that that's what the conversation was, but I'm saying is things like that. How are you gonna fucking suspend somebody for saying shit like that, dude? Like, come on.
And dude. the thing too, it's like you're kind of proving my point that the fact that like it's a lot of this has always existed. It's always been like this, and if people continue being like this, if people continue to call people bad and call people trash, it's only going to increase the level of toxicity that continues to destroy these competitive games.
I don't think
I think it's 100%. I mean, that's why so many people are getting burnt out of these like competitive-ish games.
Oh, you're bad. Oh man, I'm gonna uninstall this game. I'm having a bad time. This guy called me bad for going 0-15. Oh man. Like really?
I mean, isn't that why you got banned? Like you were getting called bad and you kind of blew up and you.
Yeah, you're right. But you know, so and I could have done things differently. I could have handled it way differently.
But I mean, it's the same thing. It's like you're being a bit of a hypocrite in this situation because it's like.
But okay. But I didn't. But here's the thing though. I didn't fucking report the person because I don't give a shit. It's a fucking game. I'm not gonna take it to heart. I'm not gonna get off the game and man, my mood is fucking ruined because this person called me bad.
And your mood was kind of ruined because you got banned and you were very upset. Okay. You were very upset.
I was reading to you what the fucking thing said. I read to you what I wrote to them.
But no, it's like I think people need to get to the level where it's like you're not being toxic. I think ultimately toxicity is what's making competitive gaming whatever this is now, where it's like every single lobby in these competitive games is a sweat match, is because people don't want to get called out. People don't want to get called bad. People don't want to get flamed.
You sure about that?
Oh, 100%.
The way some of my teammates play, it's almost like they're just asking for it. No, I'm kidding. Okay. I'm joking, dude. I'm joking. So do you think that any kind of balance can be restored between competitive and casual, or is it just like this is where we're at now? It's always going to be like this?
No. I think personally this is what it's going to be. I think people need to understand that casual gaming doesn't exist in competitive games. And ultimately any game that has PvP engraved into it, where you're playing against another person and not against the computer, there is an essence of competitiveness in there. No matter what, whether it's unranked, ranked, whatever, like you're playing against another person and that person is actively trying to beat you. So you're competing against that person. That to me is a competitive game. In any game where you're playing against the computer, you're playing with friends, whatever, or you're even playing against friends, like I think that could be a little bit more casual because like you're not always necessarily trying to win. Like I've had plenty of games of like golf with friends where I'm playing with friends and I actively know I'm gonna lose and I'm purposely just trying to sabotage my friends to make it so they can't win because it's like whatever, I'm gonna lose. No.
No, okay.
No, because it's like
that's why you can get suspended in league for inting, bro, because it's toxic gameplay. So you're toxic too.
Yeah, but this is part of the game.
No, that's part of the game too.
This is part of the game.
That's part of the game.
And again, like if my friends came to me and told me that they don't appreciate me hitting their balls and like actively doing this, I would stop because I understand it's like it's not making them feel good. So it's like I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna be a good friend and I'm gonna stop.
No, 100%. You enjoy doing that. You can't even fucking lie to me, bro. You don't enjoy making really?
No, because I'm a good person, and it's like if my friends are actively telling me,
I'm not saying you're a bad person.
If my friends will tell me like, "Hey, I don't appreciate you hitting my balls. I'm just trying to play a game," and then I'll leave them alone. It's like when I've played this game with your brother, and like, and the first time I played with him, I like hit his ball, and I saw how upset he was getting, so I just stopped hitting his ball. I was like, I knew it's like okay,
come on, dude.
I egg his son on, but not him.
His son, who is 7 years old. It's okay. It's okay to do it to him. But not to the 35 or the 34-year-old guy. That's fucked up, dude. So okay. So I kind of wanted to. That's a good way to wrap this up. I wanted to end it on this. So, do you think that competitive gaming is ruining the casual experience in games? I say no.
No.
Yeah.
Because I think casual gaming is still the best it's ever been. I think there's so many games that people can jump to if they want a break. And this is why like I see so many TikToks of like people talking about like I just don't have fun playing games anymore. And then you look at the games that they're playing and it's like Call of Duty, FIFA, Fortnite, NBA 2K, it's like you're doing this yourself. Like there's so many options that you could go to and play that it's just there for you.
There's no reason, there's no excuse to not play something else if you're having a bad time,
Yeah.
right? So some games that are coming, or oh my god, some games that are coming out that look pretty good. You got Destiny 2: The Edge of Fate is coming out on all platforms July 15th. It's the new expansion. You got Dungeons and Dragons: Neverwinter Nights 2. It's coming out July 15th as well. You also got, where was it? Oh, RoboCop Rogue City is coming out on July 17th, and The Carters 2 Turbocharge is coming out on July 17th. Some games that are on sale that you guys should check out right now is RimWorld is 20% off at $27.99. You got Jurassic World Evolution 2 is 95% off at $2.99, and one of my favorite games is American Truck Simulator is 75% off at $4.99. And that's it for today's episode of the BS Show. If you enjoyed the unfiltered conversations, make sure to share this podcast. Want us to review a game or to answer your questions? Drop your recommendations and questions in our comments below. We appreciate you listening. We'll be back next week with more straight talk, no BS.